Like
Yeah.
I don't know what could things that I can't. I need to go into a room where there's people in the government who can brief me about what's been going on, like the situation. This bit, I don't know. That's what I think is happening. Like for real, that we need to see some things, in some life, some creatures, or if we're calling them creatures and things like that. Once we do, it changes everything. Like once you see them, it's like oh, but then damn, it's been in our face the whole time.
Yeah.
Just hit it.
Yeah. And Pharaoh be saying it's people that live, hundreds of years now living underneath the Vatican, like, different.
Tunnel cities.
Yeah, people. He was saying that there's people that like are genetically, I guess maybe it's another recessive trait or gene that they can bring to the surface, and then have that person they supposedly live like 600-700 years, and all they do is study, and then they just like different heads of state come to them, or people come to them for information, and they're just there as like a scholar to just.
Is that for sure already been happening? I just
That's
feel
what he's
like
saying.
logically
It's
that's
kind of like Minority Report, kind of, but yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like the precogs or whatever, but it's actually like like this thing that just a human that's designed to live longer.
And study constantly and know
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, he's just not gonna spend no energy on really much else. It's just like upkeep on his body, I guess, a little bit, and then just study. Like whatever you gotta do to not die and study.
Why have I had a want to like get to that level? Like
I
I
guess
feel
it's
like
just
I've been,
designed, and they put it in there, in that place. You know what I mean? It's just like it was designed. It's just like the human design shit. You know what I mean? Like it was bred into that, to be in that environment. You know what I mean? And then it would not want anything more. It's kind of like the dolphins that come back. It's kind of like any of us. We're kind of all bred to be in the places, the prisons that that we are inclined to.
that's where like that's the whole prison thing that still fucks with me. Like when people need to go through prison. Like when the mass majority of men need to go through prison.
Yeah,
Like when
yeah,
oh so what's gonna be in the place of that in the place in a world that actually is like not sick. And it's like yeah, definitely looking at studying way more differently and like learning through the lifelong in the lifelong sense. But
yeah,
but getting that it's crazy when people can teach that to their kids and their kids do great. And then you see kids that never got that and the difference. Should I feel bad? And like I can't. Like as far as getting emotional, that's the next thing. Is like being so emotional to where it's exhausting, and then realizing how exhausting it is, and then just I don't have energy. I don't have the energy to spend on being emotional anymore. Like as far as just being drained. So people can kind of go that direction. But I feel like, or you could just constantly be like, yeah, taking life, taking life like that, but without the flavor is, and so that's where I really like to see the application of different arts, you know,
yeah,
to the non emotional thing, to just being that to actually just being and
yeah.
not
To like not let the emotions use you, and then you use them, like in a
yeah
sense, like
yeah,
you
and
know
they lead it well
to
yeah
really communicate them, really. Like really for art that really communicates something, really, like whether it's a painting and it's just really saying something to you, like man, this painting or whatever, a picture or whatever the fuck, whatever the art is that's really saying something to you. It's like it's communicating more than like words could ever, and
yeah that's
so
important
it's kind of like the whole point of it.
yeah
Yeah,
that's the subtle aspect. Like I feel like I get too if I'm too emotional, then the emotion just lead.
yeah,
The emotion just leading. That's when it's like the subtlety of like, oh, okay, I got to see how. Just I lead with
yeah,
I'm leading with my
yeah.
logic.
It's like a bitch leading her man.
Yeah, yeah, but to be on that like a
Yeah,
handle, like my handle on my on life.
yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah. You know what I mean? The emotions lead. It's like a bitch leading her man.
for real.
Yeah,
And that's a trick.
yeah. It's crazy, man. I mean, I don't know. It's wild. Like to even get in them circumstances, like even when you like play the daddy role, it always has to like rotate the extreme shit like that to where now you play like her son. It's like constant.
Yeah,
I feel like you can't. You know what I mean? That's just
it's not.
some
It's weird.
mental somersaults.
It's a lot, man. It's not real. Yeah, it's just still a lot of the fantasy. They're like stepping into people's false realities. like
Yeah,
like you gotta to to do what they're like expecting you to do, or not expecting, but still, it's like that's the world. Like, I bet, and as long as there's money, as long as there's unlimited money or money like that, you can just keep living in that.
Yeah, they're just gonna play on people's designs. You know what I mean? They know people's designs. They know what to do to alter people's rhythms to where certain designs are gonna go and do certain things, and it's gonna create a certain kind of structured reality
where they feel like they're in control.
Yeah, yep. Because they be in their emotions, and the emotions be empowered. So, and if they identify with emotions, then they feel like that's their self. So they feel like that's what's empowered. And you stay overstimulated in the system on the grid, then you're gonna like more likely be burnt out. Your nervous system
burnt out by the light, not in touch with your true self.
Yeah, so you're gonna be more likely to be emotional just because your nervous system. It's not even like anything is wrong with that. It's like this was supposed to happen to let you know as an alarm signal, like, yo, it's time for you to make a way away from this.
That stop codon. It's like a stop codon. If it was genes and things like that, genetics.
Yeah, some people really don't have certain codes though.
Yeah, to stop.
But I'm seeing though, like they're always reliant upon people that do have the codes. So it's really just kind of dependent on them. Like whoever is like the super clone over them or whatever, super demon over them, super spirit. You know what I mean? They don't have the codes.
Stand in.
So, they're just gonna play off of what the regulator or super demon does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy when people it's just like to be around people who are always just gonna go off of what you do. It's wild.
Yeah. That's it, man. I mean, a lot of people do watch you though. They get distracted in you, and they're not watching the movements. They're not watching. They get lost in that, in like the character, and the avatar.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens in relationships a lot too. Like, cause you really become an object to each other. You become objects, and like something that you can have. You know what I mean? Like, or, well, it's like what do you say? Like if you try to you'll lose the world if you try to grasp it or something.
It's like people paying for water.
Oh yeah.
The relationship with water is ruined. I feel like once you pay for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sure.
In a contained thing that you could.
That's what I'm saying. Everything like that, man. Like the process to breatharianism, I feel like has to be toward like you have to start to grow your own stuff and have a relationship to be full producer.
Yeah.
To be full producer, go through that process of like, now I'm just going to like just juicing greens or whatever it is. You know what I mean? If you grow fruits or whatever you do to where you sustain up your own food, I feel like if you do that long and like like a period, just to have that relationship of being a producer, a 3D producer, then you fulfilled that like experience.
And you're breathing through that whole process.
Yeah. I feel like once you like learn how to do that, then you just like that's like that experience, that memory is like encoded in your blood now. It's like there. It's like in your dreams, and you share it with your children, or anybody that's really, I guess you have a close impression on.
So your body had that test. It has that. See, that's the whole thing. That chain that we're creating. Like so, through our own experiences, like that, when we go through those experiences, that's something that's stored in the body, to where later on, certain things just. That's how you really can like design.
Just like a dog knows to eat grass when it's constipated or something, like it's just ingrained in there. It's just like certain things are just hardwired in there. Like if you have that, if you come from people that are that were self-aware and self-contained, if that's in your blood and people that you come from experience that, then that's there. And then it's you can amplify that.
That's how it transfers. So that's why it makes so much sense through life. So you're just doing it through your own lifetime and experiences, but damn, that's really how it builds up over.
Yeah, and then it's like, and then you make a blockchain, right? Basically, where you just like passing it on, where you actually collectivize like as like a larger and larger unit. Because the more that you can balance yin and yang, the greater the evolution of you and all the people involved. The more that they experience, like if you have a 10-man team and y'all experience the growth as 10 people, then the growth is 10-fold. But then once you get 100 people, it's 100-fold, and they all are part of that experience.
Yeah.
So it's like they all have first-hand experience in it. It's like an intimate experience. You know, and then all of those people have babies and kids, and then that's like
Keeps happening.
Yeah, and then the kids all have kids, and then but you are aware of the designs. Everybody's aware of the designs and what will be offensive,
And kids are being born more present.
Yeah, and because they wouldn't be born. You're gonna be a more empty vessel and just open for parasites if you're from a product of vanity breeding. The more it's just vanity breeding, or rape,
which is kind of the same.
Kind of the same. Yeah, because a lot of the sex is control rape. A lot of sex.
That's all.
If it's not for babies, it's really control rape. Really, it's like sanctioned rape.
That's when it's tough for me, man, to even look at.
Not even that the dude is raping the woman; they're both raping themselves. You know what I mean? It's
that's why I can't even really be. I don't know the next time I'm actually like get with somebody, just because I'm still processing a lot of this. How I'm not looking at sex correctly. Like as long as I do it, I don't know how much I'm actually affecting myself in the future in ways that I don't know. I gotta pay for. With these fucking. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I guess the things you just forget about, and you're like, you're gonna have to pay for it later. You just throw it on a tab.
Well, those exist, but my fear is like, how serious is it with sex? Like, when I don't know what I'm doing, if I keep this, I don't know exactly what I'm doing. Then it's like
it's probably why I'm a chimera now. You know what I mean?
Because you've been doing
yeah,
that.
Like
you've been behaving like
I just been everything that whatever this body of energy has just been constantly just like picking up everything.
Yeah. That makes sense. Like it's like, and I said like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, but still, I feel like I know. Like I've been knowing what I'm doing the whole time. I felt like
Every time you mess with a chick, don't you think like it like furthered your process, whether it was good or bad? Like I feel like every time a chick experiences a dude, every time they interface, whether it's her dad, her brothers, that all like is her process of like her becoming more aware of what a male should or shouldn't be. And it's kind of like the whole fertilization process. Once she gets to having actual sex, every dude is going to leave an impression and activate her body sexually, reproductively. So she's getting more and more fertile as that's happening.
No matter what.
Yeah.
I'd be feeling bad.
So 30 people hit it, then one dude busts a nut. All 30 of them motherfuckers left impressions on her anatomy. So that shit's going to be an impression on the energy of whatever the seed is.
And that's really happened. Do I want a hand in that? Was the question.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to, it'd be nice to have something with less bodies. Because, it's a lot of influence.
I don't know these niggas, man. Like, people, like, I don't know these fuck people. like, there's some fuck people, but it doesn't matter. Like, I'm tripping. I'm still tripping. There's things I still need to figure out. That's why I'm just going cautious, man. Slow.
Yeah. Nah, I feel you. I don't know. I'm just taking it day by day.
Yeah.
With that, because it's like too much of anything. And then if it's like I should only wait till I'm about to have a kid, I guess I'm already in my too much.
Like that's where I'm at. Like like to go in my mind, and be like, okay, still feeling like, because you're like, dude, some bitches are not gonna get enough from me. They won't. But dude, I'm not at that point. I'm not at that point where I would not easily. If it was some bitch, man, I gotta be honest. Gotta be mad honest.
I feel like the collective starts working in your favor the longer that you control it. And you just be like, yo, the universal self in my body is kind of like a reflection of the collective body. And like, what I mean? I got enough critical mass in here, enough awareness in these cells to where it's not gonna happen. It's almost like the government. Like, nah, the Senate and the Congress, that's not gonna, what I mean? It got through there or whatever, but it's not gonna happen because it got vetoed or don't get. I mean, it's just that's how I feel. Like,
yeah,
it's too much awareness there.
I'm trying to move in that direction of awareness, but not all the way there. So then I can control it, and then now I can really get to that point. Like, okay, now I know for sure I can control when it's time to have a kid. Like that's where I'm like, even having thoughts like that, I feel like the whatever it is on me already. Like as far as like planning this shit.
Yeah.
If I take it that serious. if I'm like looking at it that serious, but I don't know. But every time, if there's not a certain value on knowledge itself, I already know Like there's so many beautiful women in the place that I'm at that would love that I could for sure have an experience with, but I'm like, man, I just
I don't want to ruin sex for myself at this point. So yeah, just definitely taking it easy. It's possible. It's humanly possible.
Yeah, dude, just doing your thing, man. And that's it's just the how much more there is to it, man. That's why I want to open up and have more personal conversations and share it on the Patreon in a way to where, you know, I feel like I still like how can I not have a filter? How can I not do the knowledge but do the knowledge still at the same time? And I'm still finding that balance. So I want to leave it. I think it's an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's an hour, but yeah, I mean, there's so many questions, a lot of fear I'm getting through and facing about the unknown. But this direction seems like the right one. But man, it's like a huge leap into total commitment into like the way that I was living life.
Yeah, and looking at it. I mean, you had to go bottom out in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Go down there and make it happen because you know what I mean. At different points, you know, it was not pleasant up here. It's still rough up here now in certain ways. But when I came up here, it was no infrastructure for anybody to live up here, really. From any, I mean, there was nothing, no septic, no nothing, no plumbing, no nothing. It was just nothing up here.
Prep.
So I was just living out here, and then, you know, you see how cold it be getting at night. And this is fucking March, yo. January, February, December, that shit be bitter cold, you know. So, different times just living in the car, staying in the car up here. You know, staying in the car, driving to other places when it's so cold to where I just so I could be warm in the car, sleep in the car.
Yeah, and a bunch of people can't be be around, but you know, but now it's hospitable. I feel like it's just getting more hospitable, and you can build for sure. There's couches up here already, man. It's just dope with the couches already. Like,
it's nice. Yeah, I'm gonna get more. I'm gonna get some more couches. I'm gonna have a couple of tents out here. I gotta make that flyer today.
Cool.
I'll make that flyer today.
Yeah, man. We'll just keep it moving through the day.
May 28th.
And nice.
May 28th. We're gonna be out here.
It's going down.
Yeah.
Well, excellent.
Reserve your spot now. I don't know. Maybe it'll be exceed capacity. I wouldn't expect more than 60 people. Like 44 people came last time, but like 10 people didn't come because I had to, you know, do what I had to do in the advertisement of it.
Yeah.
And people thought I wasn't gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I lost like 10 people that were supposed to show up. So all y'all can come for free.
Nice.
This time. Ooh. And yeah, I don't know. I figure like, you know, it'd be a good time. You know, maybe it'll be a little bit more people, but either way, it'll be nice. You know, bring the strippers out.
It's gonna be popping, man. And until then, it's just gotta get clear.
Yeah.
But even more, it's just it's more long term.
It, man. Yeah,
it's a long haul, man.
It's like an alley oop for that point. I know my body right around that time. Like I'm gonna be so in what I'm doing from the next 60 days. To where I'm definitely gonna go into that like hyperdrive and not be able to eat. It's just gonna be like so in the way.
Yeah.
That, you know.
That's an example. It's a good example of like how.
I gotta keep my wits about me through that whole process because it's gonna be a delicate thing. You know what I mean? Having that many people, and you know, having to just keep everybody good and, you know, it was like I said, 44 people came last time. I only had like one bad tripper. One dude had a bad trip. You know, it's my fault though. I should never let him even have. I should never let him even enjoy himself.
Well, and that's just how you know. Yeah. That's how you know even more over time.
Yeah, exactly. I'll never do it again.
I had to really how to party.
I mean, he was away from everybody, so it wasn't that bad. But at the same time, it was whack. You know, he definitely not coming ever again.
Cool.
Yeah. So
yeah, and now people know.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, it's just gonna get better. I feel like just more streamlined.
Yeah, not for sure. Definitely be a nice little thing, man. Have a little event up here. I was thinking about my brother. You know, my brother was a DJ for years. I think I might have him DJ it.
Hey.
I don't know. My sister definitely gonna be there this time. We already booked the ticket, so she coming.
Cool.
You know, I got my brother's ticket, and then few of my cousins, probably a bunch of people gonna be out there, man. It's gonna be a lot of people that just from people that I know.
Nice.
And so it'll be dope to just mix and mingle the crowd and
converge this point.
Yeah, and then everybody, you know, we see what everybody's up to because it should be a lot. It should be pretty telling by May where everybody's gonna
how we can move next,
place their chips. Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah. So just more calm. I'm chill. Thank you.
No doubt. Oh
Thank
yeah.
You. Yeah.
Salutations.
For real.
All right, y'all.
All right. Peace.